Today, we have some amazing news about Life by You. Apparently, Life by You had a setup shop in the Gamescom Games convention. Actually, in real life, none of my friends are gamers, so I've never had an excuse to go to like a gaming convention. I've always wanted to go. I was chatting to a guy on Hinge about going to one of these, but he ghosted me, so sorry for the trauma dump. Back to Life by You. Games Radar has described it as pushing the boundaries of life sims as a more open and customizable experience. The reviewer praised the game for having some really nice small touches. For example, if a character goes for a shower, the clothes will drop on the floor as they take a shower, or how her character picked some flowers in the garden and then later on she used it to make a floral arrangement, putting it in a bouquet with roses. She then went on to state that the finer details add to the experience by making it feel more personal to you and the character that you control. She also mentioned how the character that she played as was a yoga instructor, but gave an insight into her personality traits, that she's a troublemaker, but she also had a happy childhood. I will admit though, one thing that I am personally a little bit skeptical of and we need to see more gameplay of is how these traits affect gameplay. If somebody's a troublemaker, will they autonomously be a bit more mischievous in social interactions? Will they gain a mischief skill faster? If they had a happy childhood, will it be easier for them to achieve things in their real life easier? We don't actually know what this means, and I think it's important to know what traits mean because obviously traits are useless unless they actually have an impact on gameplay. An article by thegamer.com says, "Is Life by You enough to snatch the crown from The Sims?" This one was a little bit more negative because the reviewer said that she felt like the characters lack charm, stating that maybe it's just because she was used to the visuals of The Sims 4, but Life by You didn't have a unique standout style and lacked in personality. Going on to what I was saying about the small details in the previous article, this article on The Gamer stated that bookshelves can become cluttered. I don't know what that means. Like, does that mean you can place clutter on them, or does that mean it just gets like dirty over time or messy over time? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Because did you know in The Sims 3, if you take books out of the bookshelf will get emptier, but when you put books into the bookshelf, it gets fuller. A small detail we don't have in The Sims 4. Maybe it's similar to that. They also stated how traits and personalities you assign can help your characters in their career. I was just saying we didn't really know how traits affected your characters' lives, but according to this, apparently it will help them in their careers. I am curious though, what other aspects of lives will it help or make worse? This article goes in a little bit more detail in the career itself. It said how, as the character was a yoga instructor, a part of her job, she had quests to do, including creating workout plans or reviewing member applications, and that there are also set tasks that you have to complete as progression quests, and completing these leads to extra rewards, promotions, or an email from your boss telling you that you're doing great. On a tangent, but a relevant tangent, obviously Life by You is set to be really moddable. One thing I am excited about is it looks like it's going to be really easy for modders to perhaps create brand new jobs and for modders to create brand new job tasks for those jobs. I'm personally more excited about what modders can do with the game as opposed to the game itself, if you know what I mean. Because even if the game ships with like not enough stuff, at the very least, like people could just mod stuff in. And because it's like set up to handle mods from the offset, I'm excited to see what kind of customizability is going to be there. In fact, the article states that the thing that really sets the game apart is all the things that you can use, all the editors, all the crafting systems, all the different recipes and editing tools and mods that modders can create, and conversation editors. And I think it's really important to have stuff like that in a life simulation game, especially. I think in any simulation game, modding is always like the #1 thing. Like Stardew Valley has an incredible modding community. Minecraft has an incredible modding community. City Skylines, even The Sims. I think one of the core fundamentals of any simulation game, whether it's a life simulation game or other, is the ability to mod things in. So I think the fact that this is in there from the offset is a good sign. They also mentioned something in this article about conversations, which I thought was really funny. So apparently in this Gamescom footage, the character asked her colleague, "What the hell are you wearing?" And then the colleague responded with, "I can take it off," raising the romance meter up a little bit. We've seen a lot of details of the conversation editor in this game, and One thing that seems apparent is that although you can steer the conversation in a certain direction, it will be unexpected and a little bit random. At first, when I saw it, I thought, oh my God, I don't want this. But actually, I think it's a little bit of unpredictable chaos that I'm going to be really into. I guess if you look at The Sims, like it's quite basic, like do friendly interaction and then friendliness goes up. Do flirty interaction, then romance goes up. Do mean interaction, then friendship goes down. It's quite basic, but simply having unpredictable answers to certain situations, I actually think is really cool. It's like throwing a spanner in the works, makes it a bit more challenging. In terms of the original comment in saying that the characters lack charm, I do agree with it to an extent because, as I've said before, I personally think the art style of the characters needs a bit of work. In a way, I actually like that they look a little bit generic. I know it's really controversial, but I'm glad that they didn't go for the cartoony, I guess, kind of childish look to The Sims 4. Paralives as well has gone like super charming and cartoony, and I think it's nice, honestly, that Life by You has gone for more of a realistic look, because the whole big thing I think about Life by You, in my opinion, is that it's a realistic life simulator. There's no rabbit holes. The economy is set to be more realistic. What you can do with their lives is more realistic. The conversations are more realistic. It seems to be built on the foundations of being a realistic life simulator. So I'm honestly not against it looking like hyper realistic. I just hope that by the time it fully comes out, that they work on making it look a little less uncanny valley, because if it's too realistic, it can look very uncanny valley, and I think that makes people feel uncomfortable. So I do get that comment, and I hope they find a good balance between realism and not being uncanny valley. It feels like every now and then we just find out brand new things about Life by You that we didn't even think of, and like I've had this Sims mentality for so long about like every single gameplay feature being locked behind DLC, and it seems like in Life by You they're just focusing on like making the game like a core experience. Obviously it will have DLC. I'm actually genuinely not against having DLC in video games. I play a lot of video games with DLC and I'm more than happy to get them. I play games with battle passes and I'm more than happy to get the battle passes. Obviously the most important thing is that the game, like the base game itself, is a solid platform and it can be enjoyed without any extra content. I think that's the most important thing when it comes to DLC in any games. Can the main core game be enjoyed without any DLC? Is the base game a full experience without any DLC? If the answer is yes, I am not against any form of extra downloadable paid for content. Obviously with The Sims, you know, if you want to do your laundry, like you literally have to purchase laundry DLC, which is just so bizarre to me. It's not just a Sims 4 issue. Ever since The Sims 1, really, it was cash grabby with the DLC. Like The Sims has always been a cash grabby game. They did DLC before DLC was even a thing. We have heard from Paradox themselves that they've considered at this stage potentially a university DLC. Obviously it's just like an idea. They're obviously not making it yet because they haven't even made the base game yet, but it gives a taster into what they would consider to be DLC. And I think if DLC takes form of like, you know, a university pack, that makes sense. Or if they did like a world pack like they did with some of the Sims 3 world packs, like I think it was called Hidden Springs or Palm Springs or something, where it came with a world plus some build stuff. I definitely think DLC could work in certain contexts. If Life by You started up selling some kind of DLC, like a water slide DLC where you have to pay $7.99 to have a water slide in your game, like I am not for that. I don't want like a Sims 4 stuff pack system where they isolate little bits of gameplay and flesh it out with build stuff, casts and a world and call it a pack, because that's not what a pack is. I hope they do go about DLC in Life by You a little bit differently with realistic gameplay at its core. Also, I don't know if this is controversial. You guys tell me if you think this is controversial, but I really don't want any kind of occult magical DLC for Life by You. The Sims is supposed to be like a goofy game, so it works. Seeming that Life by You's thing is that it's a lot more realistic. I don't know how I would feel about occult packs and things like that. I certainly wouldn't want like a vampire DLC. I don't know if I would really enjoy it. I really hope Life by You stays grounded with its content, but obviously we don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future Life by You updates. Thank you for watching. I will will see you in the next one.